Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my April wrap-up part 2. Now, I've surprised myself. I've managed to read 26 books this month. Considering everything that's going on, ignore the kids in the background. I've done better than I expected. Yes, I've done a few audiobooks, a few of this, a bit of that. But I'll tell you what surprised me this month, and that's going to be what genres I've been reading and what tops the genre chart this month. You're going to be shocked. I've finished one audiobook. I will admit it's coming towards the end of another audiobook, but it's going to have to go on next month's wrap up. And that one is a Kate Atkinson book. I think it's Life After Life. So I was hoping I'd finish it in time for this wrap up, but I've still got a couple more hours of it to listen to. So look forward to hearing that in the next month's one. But I will tell you now the genres of what I've read. So I'll start at the lowest as always. I managed to read one graphic novel at the start of the month, and that was Book Club. I'm going to be reading another one in next month, so that's going to be good. Then it's 3 historical fiction. Then I'm not 100% happy with that. 3 non-fiction. I think that was enough this month. 3 classics. Again, I'm not doing so well on that, and May's going to be even worse, but hey ho, that's the way it is. Now, the next joint 2 are YA middle grade. I read 5. I count YA middle grade in the same sort of era. So that's 5. And then I've read 5 thrillers this month. That's completely shocked me. I didn't realise I would read as many of them. And I've actually really enjoyed the thrillers. So thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Simone. Thank you, Victoria. You guys really have inspired me to really pick these thrillers up. And I bloody well love them. And then the book genre that's topped the chart this month has actually been chick lit and contemporary. I am really shocked that because it's not been the top of the chart for a long time. But with the way things are going right now, I think I've needed the chicky litty. I've needed that sort of cosy read. I've needed that arms around me kind of genre to really help me out. So those ones aren't really going to be on my TBR, but they're going to be mixed in when I need them and when and if. And I'll obviously tell you about them in these wrap-ups. So, enough going on. Shall I tell you which ones I've read and the star ratings? So I'll start at the lowest rating book this month, and that was How Hard Can It Be by Alison Pearson. It's a book about a lady that's just about to turn 50, and it's that sort of last year of 49. It's a chick lit, it's a contemporary. It was a very standard one. It wasn't one that exploded with me. There were certain bits of it that really dragged. It was a long one, as you guys will remember from my TBR. It's one of the longest chick lits I've got on my shelf. It's like near over 450 pages. So, but I think the points I found really interesting was when she talked about the premenopause. As a woman that's now 41, I'm already getting to that point where I'm starting to have the signs. Not very happy with that, but hey ho. But that's enough girly talk. I don't want you blokes out there watching this to get too girly. But yeah, we talk about that. We talk about romance. We talk about her and her daughter and her 2 children, especially her relationship with her daughter. That again, I found quite interesting. It's a good book, but it's very standard. It was one that I can read it and just put it down. I may pick up another one of this lady's books, but it will be a case of it picking up in a charity shop because it's not going to be one I'll spend much money on. Now I go into my 4 stars. I think that has been the star rating that's really boosted this month. I've read so many 4 stars. Not many 5, not many that have really exploded and ones that I would shout out to the roof. But they've been good. They've been really good, and some of them I will be keeping and most of them I won't really. The first one is Super Chicks Do the Hula. This is by Robin Jones Gunn. It's a Christian fiction book, which again my faith has really helped me this month. And so this book my mum gave me a while ago. I thought it was something I needed. It's about friendship. It brings Christian faith in a really nice way. It does talk about sort of certain phrases from the Bible, but it does it in a really tactful way. But it's a lot about friendships. It's about finding yourself. It's about doing things you really want to do, and no matter what age you are. And I really did enjoy it. It's a very cosy read. I loved the bit because they went to Hawaii. I loved hearing all the stuff they see there. That was really lovely. So I really did enjoy that. Now the next one, obviously I'll be keeping because it's one of the Anne of Green Gables series. It's Anne of Windy Willows. It's probably it's joint sort of. It's only got 4 stars. It's not as great as this 2. We've got the first one and the third one I really loved. The second and the fourth I've not enjoyed very much. I say not enjoyed. It's still 4 stars. It's still really good. Most of it's done in letter writing format from Anne to her fiance Gilbert, which I found that not as good. It's where she is basically going to be a principal of a school for, I think it's 2 years, no, 3 years, and while she's waiting for Gilbert to be ready to get married. And she finds friendships there. We meet a lot of new characters, but we don't, to me, dive in enough to the old characters, which I love. So that, and where they're so far away, she's actually in Summerside for this. And it's alright, it's good enough, but nothing explosive. I'm still going to keep it, and I still enjoyed it, but yeah, not one of the best ones. The next one I read was one that I had to read because it was my chapter tag. That was The Help by Catherine Stockett. I'm going to be giving this one away. It's good. It's historical fiction. It's set in the 1960s, I believe, 1962, and it's a lot about racism. This is the lead story about 3 women in Jackson, Mississippi, and it's a lot about racism. It's a lot about the slavery stuff that happened there, about the way the women were treated. If you were black, you were still second class. That's very hard hitting, and the storyline's really good. I didn't like the ending as much as I wanted to, but it is a very good book. A lot of you would have heard about The Help. It's one that's well talked about. It's almost like a classic almost, but not quite. But it was really good, and I'm glad I read it. Now this one is actually a chick lit that got 4 stars. Can you believe a chick lit that got 4 stars? I got this when I was out with Julie last year, and it's White Lies and Wishes. It's a Kathy Bramley book, and I really did enjoy it. I actually messaged the author on Instagram and said I enjoyed it, and she was really happy. She sort of said, like, yay, sort of thing. So, but it's about 3 women, friendships. They meet at a funeral, and they all have a wish each. They decide to have a wish each, and they say the wishes that they think they should say, but not the ones that are truest to their heart. And that's really good. It's about developing yourself. Yes, you've got a bit of chick lit in there, but the friendships in this, there are quite a few twists and turns that I didn't expect for a chick lit. It's actually made me order a Kathy Bramley book full price, which is saying something. So what happens when what you wish is only half the story? 3 women, Jo Gold, who is a flirtatious, straight-talking woman. She's got no time for love, but she's determined to save her family's failing butler business. Then you've got a new mother, Sarah, and she's cut short on maternity leave. She thinks she should be working. And then you've got Carrie Bradley, who's a bored, overeating housewife. And they're very different women, but their friendships, that relationship, that supporting each other, but still hiding what they really feel, I think that's what really struck me. How much, even on here, do we show the sides of ourselves that we think we should be showing, not what we really are, not how we're really feeling. I know I try to be as honest with you guys as I can be, without being depressing. Though recently, I'll tell you what, I have felt quite low, but that's all of us. But this is really about friendships. And I know that I've got a selection of very best friends in real life here. I've got you guys, my friends that are on here. And I try and be as honest as I can, but sometimes I sugarcoat it? Maybe. This is really good. I really did enjoy it. It's still going back to the charity shop because I think other people will enjoy it. It's not one I'll reread. Now the next one is a buddy read I read with Clint from Reads Readers. This is Scarlet. It's the second in the Lunar Chronicles, and I really enjoyed it. I think I rated it only 4 stars because there were bits in it that I didn't enjoy as much. But looking back, I'm thinking, is it 4 or is it 4.5? I loved. This is about Scarlet predominantly, but we also talk about Cinder, who was in the first book, and oh my god, I really did enjoy it. Julie gave this to me, and I'm so glad she gave it to me. I'm borrowing the next ones off my sister Charlie because I don't think I love them enough to buy the series, but I really enjoyed it. This is almost a retelling of Red Riding Hood. There is a character in here called Wolf. Oh my god, he sounds so gorgeous. I fell in love with him really badly. And it's about him and Scarlet predominantly, but we do dip into Cinder quite a lot and Cinder's backstory. So that's what I really enjoyed. I love the way they link the different stories together in this book. I really did enjoy it. I can't wait to read Crest next. Really can't wait. I believe I'm borrowing it from my sister soon. But yeah, really good retelling. If you like people have mixed opinions on this. Some people have loved it. Some people have liked that more than the first. Some people like the first more than the second. If I'm being honest, I like that more than I like the first, which is quite controversial almost. Now I read a historical fiction, no, non-fiction book. This is Lady Catherine and the Real Downton Abbey. This is my friend from work, Casey, lent it to me ages ago before lockdown, and I finally read it. It's about a lady who ran the house that actually is filmed for Downton Abbey. It's the second in the series. I read the first one about her mother-in-law, Almina, not very long ago, and this is Lady Catherine's story. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I liked the Almina story. And Lady Catherine was such a strong woman, and hearing her story in this is really nice. I like the fact it links in with historical facts, obviously, about what was happening in this time that she was in. It's a really good book. Really did enjoy it. And if you like historical fiction, you'll like this. Look at the pictures on the back, guys. It's so beautiful. I love looking at the pictures of what it was like back then. Now, the next one was an adding book that my sister Charlie lent me. I wasn't expecting her to lend it to me, but it got 4.5 stars. This is The Hunting Party. The ending was what it let it down. It's 4 to 4.5. I'm still not sure whether it's 4 or 4.5 because the ending let it down. We've got 3 predominant women in this. There is, it's just the beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, the outsider, the victim. Not an accident, but a murder amongst friends. So someone is murdered at the start of this. Out of that hunting party, there is 6 people that go on it. There is 2 or 3 members of staff at the hunting party, and you don't know who got killed. You know that it couldn't be the lady who ran the house because obviously she's being the narrator and she's when we flick. So we flick between now and then. It's really good. It's set in New Year's Eve in the Lockett Corin estate. Hogmanay celebrations are in full flow. 9 friends swapping stories. We've got the women of the party that are talking predominantly in this, but we've also got one of the employees who's talking, and it goes between then and now, and it's quite that sort of jumping bit. The ending was what let it down a bit. It didn't happen almost soon enough. You didn't find out who the victim was, in my opinion, quite soon enough, but you do get hooked. You do grip it. I read it within a matter of days. It very quickly read. Very much I definitely want to read her next book. I definitely recommend it. I don't know if Charlie's going to let me keep it or whether I know I'll give it back to her because I think she will actually enjoy it. She's not read it and she lent it to me. It was in my big pile that she lent to me. But yeah, that's another thriller. Can you believe it? I've read so many of the thrillers. So now I go into my 5 stars. Some of them you would have predicted as 5 stars. Some of them I was quite surprised myself. Fancied a laugh, had to read the scripts from Roald Dahl. Never read it, loved it, laughed my head off throughout the whole book. It was so short and sweet, but one that Mia will love, and I loved it. I really laughed my head off. I didn't expect it. Now the next one is one my sister Charlie lent me. Another one, so that's going back to her, Asher and the Spirit Bird. It is a YA/middle grade book. It's about, Asher lives in the foothills of mountains of the Himalayas. Money is tight and she misses her papa, who works in the city. When he suddenly stops sending his wages, a ruthless moneylender ransacks their home and her mother talks of leaving. So, from her den from the mango tree, she makes a pact with her best friend Jevon to go and find her father and make things right, but the journey is dangerous and she must cross the highest mountains and face hunger. She really has. This is about finding yourself. This is about being true to yourself. This is about following what you want. And this is a lovely middle grade book. It screams of hope. It springs of happiness. And I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Charlie, for lending me it. Look at the pictures on it. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful book. Kind of almost wish I would have read it for middle grade March because it would have really helped. So now I'm kind of saving the joint favourites till the end. Another one that I borrowed from Charlie. It's a very quick one. It was my last book that I finished in the month, The Ray and Oki Girls, another thriller. Everyone wants to be a Ray and Oki girl. You won't when you know the truth. They either die or disappear. So they seem to have it all, but there's dark truth amongst them that's never spoken. Each girl has either run away or dies. Lane is the lucky one. When she was 15, one long hot summer ago at her grandparents' estate, she finds out what it really means to be a Ray and Oki girl. Lane ran far and fast, until 11 years later when her cousin Allegra goes missing. Lane has no choice but to go back. And is she strong enough to escape the second time? So we start off with the Ray and Oki Girls family tree, which is there. And it's interesting to find out. So we go for chapters of each Ray and Oki girl. We go from then and now. So from that summer to the present, we find out more about Lane. We find out more about the Ray and Oki girls. I really enjoyed this one. It's brilliant. I definitely recommend it. And I so badly want to read more of what this author's written. It's another thriller that had me gripped. I can't believe it. I think, if I'm being honest, I think I've actually really enjoyed the thrillers this month, because I think they've been an escape, real escape, because when you get into them, you so want to find out what happens to these characters. So I think that part of why I've really done the thrillers so much. I wonder what that's going to be like for the coming months while this is all going on. So now I'm going to go to my top 2 books of the month. Now I think I'll start with the one that was on my TBR. No, they're both on my TBR. The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Simone and has talked about it. Linda from Linda's World of Books had said to me about, she got me the second one and sent me the second one in the post. So I found this one in my local charity shop. It is brilliant. Robert Galbraith is obviously, really is J.K. Rowling, but it's her other pen name. And it's her pen name for this thriller series. It's the first in the Cormac Must Try series. It is so good. It's joint 5 stars. I loved it from start to finish. It basically is like, when a troubled model falls to her death from a balcony, it's assumed that she's committed suicide. But however, her brother has her doubts and calls in private detective Cormac Strike to investigate. I love this book. You did not know who the killer was until the very, very last pages, and I loved that. Oh my god, it was so, so good. Literally, I was gripped from this from start to finish. I didn't think I could love a thriller like I love this. It's probably one of my best thrillers. It's a murder mystery, it's intriguing, it's exciting, it's just what I need, and I loved it. It's so good. I can't wait to read the second in the series. In fact, I need to buy the whole series so I can read them all gradually. But I will read them in order. I will do it properly, but safe to say I love this book. I can't wait. Gutted, I will give it back because I don't think with thrillers you can reread them, so I will give it to a charity shop. Now my other favourite was one of the last ones I read this month, The Familiars by Stacey Halls. This had been spoken about by so many of my booktube friends. I don't need to name names, but everyone raved about it. It's a historical fiction. It's so good. Clint, if you're watching this, you would love this because it's got about witches in it. Lancashire, 1612. Fleetwood Shuttleworth is 17 years old, married and pregnant for the 4th time. But as a mistress to Grawthorpe Estate, she has no living child, and her husband, Richard, is anxious for an heir. Then she crosses paths by chance with Alice Gray, a young midwife who promises to help her give birth to a healthy baby. And then when Alice is drawn into witchcraft accusations that are sweeping the northwest, Fleet would risk everything to help her. This is about friendship. I've already read this with the lovely Amy from PSI Love Books. Loved buddy reading with her. It was such a fun experience doing that with her. I really, really enjoyed it. This is about witchcraft. This is about friendship. This is about a woman striving to fight for what she believes in, fight for the friend she believes in, and keep her baby safe. Safe to say, I love this. I'm so glad I got the founding that Charlie from Charles Heathcote gave me, sent me as a birthday present. Love that. Can't wait to read it. This is amazing. This is staying on my shelves. It's that frigging good. I loved it. I can't rave it enough. Linda, I actually won this in a giveaway from Linda World Book. I won some money from the book depository, and that's how I got it. So thank you, Linda, for getting me this. It's really good. So now for the last fact, the number of books on my unread books on my TBR. Now I got given quite a few books, but where I read 26, 7 out of those 26 that I read, 7 of those were not mine, so I minus 9 from the books that I added to my last month's TBRs, and the total TBR book numbers on my shelf that are my books, by the way, not the books that Charlie's lent to me, but the ones I definitely know are mine, are 330. But I have just received 2 books in the post. So I've only actually, my TBR unread book has only gone up 1 from last month. So that's not bad, is it? That's intriguing. But I've really enjoyed this month's reading. It's actually really been a help. I don't know how I'm going to do next month. I don't know what's going to happen with homeschooling. I don't know anything. But I'm going to give it my best and have fun. So if you guys have liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed, ring on my ding-a-ling and let me know what was your favourite book of April. Take care, guys.